Hello, hello, my beautiful, sexy people.
Almost out of style. Give it a ride. Give me more. Let me be like I'm a new black. Cutting in your heart. Why be a kid when you can be God?
Okay, so I am ready. Welcome, my name is Elizaveta S and welcome back to my channel. I am loving this brand new light. I am preparing this new studio, this new room in my new apartment for more YouTube videos that are coming up for you. So subscribe to this channel, click all the rings and bells and the red buttons, everything you see down below, click except for don't like. Honestly, if you want to click that, like that, because there's no such thing as bad PR. Anyway, today I want to raise the topic that I was asked a lot, and it is regarding my last. I keep looking at myself because this is a narcissistic me, narcissistic self. It's so important to know that I look good. So today I wanted to address the topic that I was asked a lot about, my last trips that I took. I just came back to United States after over a month and a half, which I am realizing spent outside of US. I spent 1 month and like a few weeks, 1 month and a week I think, in Montreal. Then I spent 3 days in LA and went to Korea first and then to Japan. And the question that I was asked specifically about my trip to Japan, which I took with my mom, it's a very luxury, such a beautiful trip. Japan stole my heart, I am telling you. If you haven't seen the vlog, go ahead and click it up there. I'm gonna insert the link. I am sharing the best hacks, the best tips, the best everything about this amazing, beautiful country. Japan, the things that you want to see, the things that you need to do, my experience, my celebration with my mother. And that trip came out of nowhere. It wasn't planned. I am usually a big planner on the trips. I plan them way in advance. I find everything from the hotel to the amenities to the things that we need to see and excursions and private guides, private tours, all the good things. Regardless, this was the least planned trip I have ever taken. We booked it a few days, probably like a week in advance, and it was to celebrate my mother's birthday. And the question that I was asked when I was posting on my Instagram, another baked-in commercial for my social media, go ahead, subscribe to my Instagram. Beautiful visuals right here. Another thing I was asked a lot is who was paying for this trip? Because we stayed in the best hotels in Four Seasons, we had private guides driving us around, we were dining in Michelin star restaurants, all the luxury, beautiful, expensive things that I was posting about. And I was on this trip with my mother, with a part of my family. And a bunch of people asked me, who is paying? Are you paying? Are you treating her? Is she treating you? So I wanted to raise this subject over here, and no, my video just stopped.
One eternity later.
So the question that I am asked is who pays for this trip? Who pays when a child, even a grown-up child, goes on vacation with their parents? What is the right way to divide the finances? What is the right way to divide finances with your parents overall? So this is what this video is going to be about, and we're going to discuss, once I take a shot, a drink, a sip of this very cold coffee, very bad cold coffee, but regardless. Parent-children relationship is a whole subject, is a whole big subject, especially in psychology. No matter how old we get, we will always remain the kids to our parents. Even when we're 20, when we're 30, when we become parents ourselves, there is no way to change the family system. What is this horn on my hair? There is no way to change the family system. You cannot reverse the roles. In a healthy family system, the kids will always remain kids. The parents will always remain parents. And when that happens, we can build our identification, we can build our growth, we can build our lives properly and accordingly. We can step into the subcategory of a parent ourselves. We can step into the subcategory of a partner, a wife. We can start creating our own family, but only when the roles of our family system, where we are kids, when we have our parents, is healthy and proper. When we become parents to our own parents, that is when the roles reverse. And this is where a lot of blocks, whether it's about relationship, whether it's about finances, come into play. So to answer your question, who pays on the trips when I go on vacations with my parents? When the roles get reversed and we become parents to our parents, the ancestral lineage stops. Because think about it, the ancestral pattern, the relationship with our parents in our family system is supposed to be a flow. It comes from our ancestry and it goes down, 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 just like the DNA gets I don't know if you can see it, but my right hand is shaking because we were playing badminton yesterday and it literally... So the DNA gets passed on from generation to generation, further. That's why in any culture, in any ancient tradition and culture, it was so important to have a son, right? Because through a son, not only the family name gets passed on, but also this heritage, the family knowledge and possessions and status and titles, it gets passed on to the next generation. The samsara ring, the samsara circle, the concept that comes to us from Hinduism, says that every next generation is going to be better than the previous one, right? Our kids are going to be better than us. Our kids always have more potential than us. Why does that happen? Because we live our life, we gain the knowledge, we gain information, we gain status, money, experience, we gain social credits, we gain financial stability or not stability, we gain some lessons, we learn some lessons. And then when the kid is born, without spending X amount of years to gain what we just spent on gaining, they already get it and then they can add on to it. It's like a mathematical equation. They are already born with an X amount of stuff given to them, right? And the kids are always born with a debt that they cannot repay. You cannot repay your parents. You cannot repay the gift of life as is. It's given. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you try to buy them out, it is given. But at the end of the day, this is the responsibility of our parents because they made a choice to birth us. They made a choice themselves to give us life. We did not ask for it. It was not a deal. It was not an agreement that was made. Maybe on a soul level, if we go into more of a spiritual and more of a esoteric beliefs, then we can discuss the soul contracts, all that stuff. But in this material world, we did not ask our parents to give us life. It was their choice, and the choice is something that they have to take responsibilities for. So when somebody comes to me and they're like, well, I feel this need to help my parents, I feel this need to support my parents, I feel this unpaid debt in front of them, right? They gave their life to raise me. No, this is a big red flag, because when this happens, the roles get reversed. And instead of living your life and gaining all that knowledge and credibility and all that pool of information, pool of things, pool of experiences for your next generation to build yourself into the family system and let the energy flow through generations as is, through the ancestral patterns as is, you stop that flow and you reverse it. And you look back and think what happens to a river when the flow gets stopped, right? The rest of it dries out. There is no life. There is no libido. There is no life force. There is nothing. Life stops when the flow gets reversed. whenever you start stepping into the position of, I have to turn around and help my parents, I have to take care of my parents, this is where you stop living your life. One of my teachers, who is a very, very wealthy woman, she became a multimillionaire with her family, she has her own kids. She posted something about her great-grandmother, okay? And her great-grandmother obviously was not a millionaire herself. She was this Soviet Union old woman, right? She's about 90 years old. She's maybe cutting 100. And they come to visit. They come to pay an homage. They come to introduce the grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So the family system stays together. But there is a big but. They do not help her financially. And this is a very, very powerful thing. That woman, it was her choice. She says, my pension is enough for me. Why do I need to take money from my kids? I had my whole life to figure out how to grow old. I had my whole life to figure out how to manage my finances. I had my whole life to, structure my life accordingly so that when I grow old, I don't have to become a child to my own parents. And this is like a nice old woman who lives, not very comfortably, but she lives comfortably for herself in an older apartment. Her husband is dead already, but in her pension she has enough money to buy some clothes for herself, like great-grandma clothes, and even pay a helper who comes like once every 2 weeks to help with the house. And that woman is comfortable, and that is what is needed. I want you to get in the position, think about it. When you become old, do you want to become a child to your own kids? Do you produce next generation to help you, to save you? Why are you not putting that energy for yourself and into yourself? And yes, our parents or our great parents, however old you are right now, but let's say the boomers, they had this philosophy sometimes that they're raising their children in order to support them, and then they put their whole life onto raising their children, and then when the child is growing up, they expect that back. But this is an agreement that was never signed. This is a contract that was never signed or even talked about from both sides. And then the child feels this responsibility that they have to live and study and make money for their parents, which is so wrong. One of the big things that I learned throughout life is to accept the support of my family. Even the last shamanic constellation that I went to, I have it on my Instagram, I might insert it right there. I specifically went to Miami to this one shaman who is very, very powerful with a family constellation, with figuring out what is wrong in the family system, what needs to be changed, what needs to be readjusted here and there. After that session, that was the last big marker for me that helped me accept my position in the family system. I will always be the daughter of my father. I will always be the daughter of my mother. I am 50% my father and 50% my mother. No matter how much I try, I cannot give my parents a part of me, okay? Because they are the ones who birthed me. Their DNA, their cells, their body cells, that's the word. Okay, cells. Okay, I'm gonna use it twice. Body cells, body organs produced me, produced my body. I cannot return that favor. The only thing I can do for the family system to thrive is to finally accept who I am, finally accept the parts of my dad and my mom, that they made a decision to create me in this life, and when they want to give me something, I with honor can accept that. Because only through full acceptance of who I am, I can come into my full power, just like what I started describing in this video, right? The child is already born with the knowledge, with the informational field, with the egregor, hello, of his ancestry. And my father had the same thing from his parents, and my mother had the same things from her parents. So when I'm born, I'm getting all that generations and generations of energy and information and field and memories and DNA and blood, right? through so many generations of my ancestry, and it is very powerful. But you have to accept it only by accepting that, hey, okay, I am here to get that. It's my birthright. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to pay back. I don't have to make them love me or not love me or show them my appreciation. This is my birthright. Just from the fact of me being born, I have a right for all of that collective knowledge, for all of that collective gatherings, for the next generations to come, right? And when I decide to have a child, when I decide to have children, I know I'm making a decision that I'm going to pass this on to the next generations. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. I've been talking for a while. How long is this video? And in that family constellation, I remember how powerful it was, because one of my questions was regarding my career or my self-realization in the world. What came up in the family system constellation with that shaman was me having my dad and my mom behind me. My dad from my right side and my mom from my left side, standing behind me, supporting me. And that meant that from accepting my lineage, from accepting my ancestry, my parents, my blood, I can come into full power of who I am today and bring it into my existence, into my realization, into my career and love life and money, and then move on from that. Okay? Coming back to the question, who pays for the trips when I travel with my mom? She did. For the trip to Japan, which she invited me to celebrate her birthday, I had to fully accept that my mother is inviting me to take a trip with her. Me as her daughter, not me as her friend, not me as her mother, not me as her parent. She's inviting me as a mother to take that trip. Even though I am capable of paying for that myself, I'm capable of taking her own trip, I came to peace with the idea that I need to be okay with accepting things from my parents, not giving back when I want to, right? For a gift, for a birthday gift, Christmas, but I do not have that need, not a need, what is it? Debt. I do not have that debt that I have to try to repay throughout my life, because it is impossible. You are going to drive yourself insane and get panic attacks and anxiety, because that task is impossible to complete, right? You cannot fulfill that task. That equation, if you please, my mathematical language, doesn't work. It doesn't work. So yeah, that is my answer to the question. The other big thing, it works so much with financial energy as well. Only when we learn to accept from the previous generations, and it doesn't only have to do with finance, it's just the fact of accepting, right? Accepting their power, accepting their knowledge, accepting that we are the next Sansara ring, the next generation to come. We are here to own everything that they spend their lives, their time given on earth to gain. We have a right for all that. And now it's our time to live our lives. That is one of the big things that I also teach on my financial course. If you want to come in touch with your financial energy, with your money, if you don't know why you cannot establish yourself, look at your family system. There are a lot of answers that are hidden in the way your family lineage is created, is made. Are you blocking it? Are you transferring that back? Are you stopping the flow, your financial flow from coming, right? Because if you turn back, where do you expect the flow to come from? It is not possible. It's physics. So if you want to learn more, I have a new course that's called Destination Wealth. We have a new free webinar that is coming up so soon, probably by the end of this month. I'm going to release it. If you want to learn more, the links are down below. Subscribe to my newsletter list and check out Destination Wealth. My name is Elizaveta Sullivan. Don't forget to send me a little like and subscribe button and all the good things. I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned.